Now, how do we do the same thing in view 3? How do we mount the app? How do we uh, set up data? So in view 2, things are slightly different. View 3, it's slightly. Let's first substitute this with view 3. We go back to CDNJS. We'll include the latest version of 3.5.4. This may be different at the time of watching the video. It might be greater than this. So, and again, we'll choose this global min.js. We'll take that and substitute this with version 3. Now, things won't immediately work because the way you render the root component is slightly different in view 3. So if you refresh it now, you see it doesn't render and it says view is not a constructor. In view 3, this is not a class anymore. It's just an object. It has a method called uh, create app. So we can need to slightly change this in view 3. Now we're in view 3. So view.create app. Create app. Now in view 2, actually this data could be let me show it actually. I go back to view 2. I've switched back to view 2. Sorry for going back. Data could also be a method that is not a property like this. It's an object. Instead, it could be a function in view 2. There are two ways. One, it can be an object or it could be a function in view 2. Data is either an object or it could be a function returning the same data object. Function returning the data, available data for the application. So you could make this a function. Again, this is a neat syntax from ES 2015 onwards for methods in an object. If you're familiar with this, you can write it this way too. That's up to you, right? Which way but this is definitely shorter and sweeter. Now it should be a function returning the data. So it'll be returning an object. Return an object with that data. This will also work in view 2, like I'll refresh. So it also works. So either it could be an object directly or it could be a function returning the object. Now they felt it was unnecessary both ways, supporting both ways in view 3. So if you go to view 3, okay, if you go to view 3, so I'll actually go back. Actually, I need no, let this be like this, or maybe I can go back, sorry. Yeah. So if you have this data object, it doesn't work in view 3. So if you substitute view 3, view 2, view 3 for view 2, I can copy this, put it in here, and refresh. Now you're on view 3. You can see it doesn't work and it says view is not a constructor. So one change, you have to use create app. So it's no more a class that you create an object. You just use create app method of view object. It's no more a constructor. So no new, nothing. But still it won't work. It doesn't work. And it says that $mount is not a function. So one of the things is the $mount function name method was changed now to the root objects mount function. $mount is changed to just mount, not $mount, just mount. Rest all remains same, but still it won't render. Okay, great. Now the thing is in view 3, the other change. So one is this create app, no new, it's not a class. Other is just mount, not $mount. And now data in view 3 is this function returning the data. Okay. So in view 3, data is always data property is a function returning the data. So it must be this way. This is not supported now. In view 3, it's been removed the support. They didn't probably find multiple use of doing the same thing in two ways. So my bad. This is the syntax. Right. So basically, you have data. It's a function. That's the function part. Returning the data object. Returning this. Now let's see. It should render. And there it is. So these are the differences between view 2 and view 3. So just getting started.